Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Dirty Pat Walsh channel on YouTube with me, your host, Dirty Pat Walsh. How's it going? I haven't done a vlog in a bit, mostly because not much has happened in my life over the last little while. I'm in a weird. Leading up to the holidays is a weird time for me, so I tend to draw inwards a lot more. But man, do I got a Christmas special planned for you. I have refurbished my tattooing equipment. Uh, so I'm going to be giving myself a tattoo using this little poker here. It's just a pencil. Poker, thread, done up. Keep the ink in. It's worked good. And I found, well, I didn't get new stuff. I thought I lost this, but I got my India ink. And I'm going to show you how you use this to make a tattoo with this. So I'm excited about that. What my plan? See, I did this little thing on my hand, this little sun. It's really awkward. Little sun on my hand. Like I can see it really well when I'm like it's always in my eyesight. To remind me of my daughter Ray, right? She's my little ray of sunshine. And for ages I've been trying to figure out a tattoo to symbolize my son, who's older than my daughter, by the way. Now his name's Beckett, and Beckett is excuse me. I'm dipping on the no frills School Dark today. Whatever. Yeah, Beckett is an old Irish term for a beehive, right? Which Methra and I thought was really cool before he was born. Because a child is nothing but a beehive of activity and information, just chugging along, right? So I wanted to make a cool design, something about a bee or a beehive or something like that for my son. Now, I could go get it professionally done for sure, but I don't have the money for that. And I like the look of stick and pokes better anyway. So anyway, for years I've been trying to figure this out. Like, I was thinking about drawing a little beehive, but every time I do, it just looks like a pile of poop, really, like literally. So I'm not going to use that. I'm not skilled enough to really do anything but simple line work, right? Now, so what I've decided on is I thought, well, maybe I could do a little bee, but like I say, I'm not really. If you saw my handwriting, you'd be like, "There's no fucking way this guy's ever gonna put a tattoo on himself." But anyhow, I thought I could do something with like a little bee or something, but I just couldn't. I couldn't seem to draw something that would be able to translate. So what I've decided on is I'm going to do a bee stinger, the stinger of a bee, going. It's going to have like a little bee butt and a stinger going up my thumb. So it'll kind of take up this area here. So they'll be next to each other. and that'll be cool. That'll get that off my mind. I've been thinking about, how kind of owe my son a tattoo after all these years. Um, I don't want to show favoritism between my children because there is no favoritism. Um, it was just easier to figure out Ray's tattoo design first. um, but yeah, so anyhow, that's going to be tied into my Christmas special, I think. It might be hard to tattoo with jingle bells going on through my head, but you know, you'll see what I mean when we get there. Um, yeah, so really, it's just this is the 22nd of January. Uh, is it? Maybe no. Wednesday's Christmas. Tuesday's Christmas Eve. Yeah, I guess it's the 22nd of did I say January? I'm fucked. 22nd of December. Today. It's been a really cold, brutal week here, weather-wise. Like every day has been like in the minus 20s, and wet snow or fucking ice or something. It's been horrible weather. But I'm looking at my kitchen window right now, and it seems like a nice clear day. So hopefully I'm gonna get out for a walk. I gotta get a couple last minute items for Christmas. Um, Mostly wrapping paper and shit like that. But it's so nice to have, like, usually Christmas is such a stressful time for me, because of the gift giving. Um, you know, I don't really ask for anything. Um, I'm just happy to have people who love me. But man, it's been so stressful the last few years giving gifts at Christmas, because like when you don't have money to fucking feed yourself, how are you gonna gather up money to buy Christmas gifts? So often, what would happen is, my mom might send me a couple bucks. I'm 49 years old, and my mom's still mailing me birthday money or Christmas money. Um, anyway, I'd usually, and bless her so much for that. I just feel kind of weird being as old as I am. but but yeah, it's all good. Because usually that's what helps me get through Christmas is I'll take my gift money and I'll use that for money for gifts. You know what I mean? And but yeah, like right now I'm doing a little better, so I had money for gifts, and I think everybody is going to be happy with what I got them, and it's that kind of stress is taken off, which is really fucking amazing. I got to tell you, I can't even. I'm sure lots of you know what that's like. It's a horrible feeling. You know. But yeah, it's all good. So yeah, I know I haven't been vlogging much lately. I'm sure, I do stuff almost every day here on this channel. I'm sure nobody minds if I skip a day or nothing. I very much appreciate all your views and comments and likes and everything my little community gives me here. So thank you all so very much. I had a fella, I can't remember his name. It was one that I checked it first thing when I woke up. He commented. Now I did a video quite some time ago, probably a little bit around this time last year. Of I have there's a harmonica I have made by Tombow. It's the Lee Oskar model. Lee Oskar is a very famous model of harmonica and a very famous harmonica player. He's the, if you know the band War, low rider, he's a little higher, boop 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 boop. Everybody knows that song. Lee Oskar is the guy who started that band. Um, he was a Finnish harmonica player, I believe. He moved to California, and with a key of F harmonica, and got together with some local musicians, and they started the band War, which is pretty fucking cool. And Lee Oskar is an amazing harmonica player. I have one of his solo records, if maybe his only solo record, in my record collection. Just a phenomenal harmonica player. But now the thing about the harmonicas, Lee Oskar harmonicas, is they don't just do the straight up 12 keys. They do like all kinds of tunings. They have natural minor tunings and harmonic minor tunings. And this one tuning they that's the matter at hand is they do one called the Melody Maker, and it's basically, from what I gather, it's supposed to be like a chromatic tuning, like supposed to sound kind of like a chromatic harmonica. The one I got is in such a weird key that I can't really tell because I don't, whatever, I don't know. But I like to play it from time to time. It's got a real cool sound, and anyhow, well, I guess my video about that harmonica pops up in people's video feeds or whatever. I don't know what the hell goes on, what people see in mine or what they don't. Sorry, I got a new foot system here, so I can be more comfortable. Yeah. So anyhow, anyway, a guy commented on that video, asking what I think of Bluesmaster harmonicas by Suzuki, and I'll tell you, I've got a couple right here. Yeah, the Bluesmaster by Suzuki is an excellent budget harmonica. It's a professional grade instrument that costs less than $40. This one here was my War. This is the only harmonica I really played with I Am Made of Fire, because we played everything in the key of E. This is a key of A, Suzuki Bluesmaster. The reeds are phosphor bronze. It's got this old retro style kind of. They're very comfortable. They're very. I got a big dip in right now. But they're good, airtight instruments. They're good quality. This is what I recommend my students to buy if they're on a budget. Yeah, the Suzuki Bluesmaster. It's a fine harmonica. I have one in the key of A, and weirdly enough, I have one in the key of D flat. Just because I thought it was interesting. Yeah. So I don't play it too much, but it's cool to have. So to the guy who asked about Suzuki Bluesmasters, they're amazing. I love them. They're great. They're not marine bands, but when you can't afford a marine band, they're kind of what I go to. The other Suzuki brand that's kind of in the same league, it's a little bit cheaper, but it's just as good, I think. is the Suzuki Harpmaster, which is more kind of like has a traditional tin sandwich kind of style. It's a good, solid instrument. The breeds are brass, um, and yeah, that's about it. It's kind of got the qualities of like a Special 20 Honer, you know. Um, but an excellent, for a beginner, an excellent instrument to start on because it's cheap and, I would totally play one of these on stage. Um, Stage worthy instruments. That's what you need when you're beginning harmonica playing. Um, and yeah, so speaking of that, it looks like I'm going to have at least one private lesson through the music shop um, that I'm giving lessons out of. Uh, sometime between Christmas and the first week of January, I think. I'm not really sure on the details, but whatever, it doesn't matter anyway. I'm just glad I got more harmonica teaching work coming up. Um, and my student Erin is kind of on hiatus right now because she's very busy with she's a teacher and she's a student and has a whole lot of work on her plate right now. So you know harmonica's kind of low on the priority list for her right now. So that's all good. I wish her all the best in her work. But we're gonna continue as soon as possible. So that's pretty good. Um, Purple Hawaiian Punch. You make do. Uh, but yeah, one. Speaking of harmonicas, uh, which I'm always speaking about harmonicas, I guess. Um, it looks like now there's been some weird, like the Silver Hearts. Okay, this band I played for since 1999 to 2014. Uh, we toured everywhere. We were kind of would have been a big name if we hadn't messed it up so bad. And I ended up leaving the band in 2014 due to political differences on things. I kind of also got uh, fired by the management that they had at the time. They wanted to pare the band down to the essential members. And even though I was kind of the founding member, I wasn't deemed essential. Um, I'm not sure why. But anyhow, there's a lot of backstory, a lot of good and bad feelings. It's time I certainly don't regret. I had a wonderful, wonderful 15-year run with that band, playing all week, every week. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was a great time. Um, but anyhow, I guess now I got a mysterious message from Trevor, one of the main Silver Hearts. Uh, like he formed a group, like a private group in Facebook called Silver Hearts, and you can't get into it unless you're an alumni. um, and yeah, so what I guess now being this year being 2020, uh, it's going to be the 20th year anniversary of the Silver Hearts because they have continued since I left the band, but mainly as a three piece or like a cobbled together band with session players and stuff like that. Whatever. I don't even know. I haven't been to a Silver Heart show since I quit the band. And we had our little. Well, I shouldn't say little. It was pretty fucking huge. Celebration of life for Joe Hall. You know, a few months back, and a lot of good feelings about joining. Like talk about getting the old band back together and seeing what we can do. And since then and now, some things have happened, like uh, just weird. It's just typical. Like I can't even explain it. It's just typical Silverheart stuff. You know, and anyway, I felt like, okay, well, they want me back, and I'd like to go back and play for them too, because it's a world of fun. It's great band when it's got all the members, and that happened, and then there was talk of doing a recording in St. Catharines, and I was included in that until I wasn't included, and I just thought I got ghosted by the band, but turns out it wasn't that at all. It was an entirely different situation, so no hard feelings on that. Um, but yeah, anyhow, it looks like I'm going to be playing with them sometime in the new year at the Gordon Best Theater here in Peterborough. Gordon Best Theater, it used to be kind of like a really cooking spot for music. It was it's above the only cafe on Hunter Street in Peterborough here. But I don't know when or I don't know how it started, but I think it became like a really serious pay to play venue. I never once paid to play the Gordon Best Theater, so I don't know how that all came about. But so like if you wanted your band to play, you'd have to rent the room for $400 and hope that enough of your buddies come out to cover the fucking rent. So not many people have played there over the last few years. Most of the shows they've done have kind of been big, like bigger, bigger draw people that are like have funding behind them and stuff like that. It seems so. I don't know, but anyhow, the powers that be down at the only cafe, Gordon Best Theater, uh, reached out to Trevor and said, "Hey, I don't know what the Silverhearts are doing these days, but I'd really like to have uh, have you back, but like kind of under the banner of like we want to see like the Silverhearts. We don't want to see three Silverhearts. So I'm gonna be it looks like I'm gonna be blowing harp for the Silverhearts again. I don't know what that entails. I don't know how far we're gonna end up going with it. We kind of fucked ourselves over in lots of ways in the Canadian music industry due to our renegade behavior, our unorganized behavior, all kinds of jazz. Um, but yeah, anyhow, looks like I'm going to be blowing harp for the Silverhearts again at some point, at some time in the near future, which is really exciting. I'm excited to share some of that with you if it happens. Um, Silverhearts were a huge part of my life, especially in my musical life. Um, you can't spend that much time in a van with, that a certain group of people, you know, for that long without having some kind of family ties. You know what I mean? Uh, yeah, I don't know. If you're in a band, you know what I mean. If I don't know, we most 4-piece bands have trouble getting their shit together to go touring and put out records and this, that, and third. And at our peak, we were a 14-piece band. We traveled in 2 vans and a car. Um, the car we used up until we drove it into the ground was my ex-wife's hearse. So that was kind of a cool car to have. But yeah, we had like an extendo van, we had a minivan, and we had the hearse, and that's how we traveled around the country. If we didn't have the hearse, we'd have a rental car, and 14 people, and we managed to do some things. We put out a pile of records. We covered Tom Waits' Rain Dogs album. It's like a live recording of a show we did, of a couple shows we did of it. But we covered the whole album, fucking head to toe, and it's not as good as the original, but we did it, and we got the thumbs up from Mr. Waits himself, so that's all good. As far as I know, anyway. There was a point where we were planning to find out exactly where Tom Waits lived in I think it was in upstate New York at the time. I don't know where he lives now or whatever, but at the time he lived in upstate New York, and we were gonna drive to his house and set up in his driveway and just start playing. And but that would have been one of the cooler things that we did, but we never did get around to doing that. But that's okay. But yeah, we did some stuff, and we toured all around the country, and we have fans all over the place who say they've never seen a band like the Silver Hearts, and there never really was a band like the Silver Hearts. You know, you just gotta hear it. I have a Silver Hearts playlist down in my playlist section. You can check it out. I think I have a couple of vlogs where I give a brief history of the Silver Hearts. I can't remember what I said in them, but I know the history, because I was there, man. Um, yeah. Anyhow, this video is getting to be a half hour long, so I'm going to cut it off short. More about the Silver Hearts later. Silver Hearts Continuum. Uh, you know, I've been absent for 5 years, and now I'm going to jump back in both feet and see what happens. On Christmas Day, I'm going to do my best to pull off my Christmas special. I wish I could go live. I can't go live because I'm such a low, small potatoes YouTuber. But I'm going to do my best to do a video doing that tattoo and listening to Jingle Bells on my Casio SA5, I believe it's called. Yeah, has all these songs that are pre-programmed into it. One of it's Jingle Bells, so I'll give you a little taste. I'm gonna have this going in the background, and I'm just gonna do a vlog, doing some things that I do while this is going the best. See how long I can endure, and I'm a very patient man, so we'll see how it goes. Tattoos and Jingle Bells, unless something weird happens. But anyhow. Be well, everybody. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I got more stuff to tell you, but I'll have to save it for another time. Anyhow, be well. Talk to you soon.